Welcome to Daily Magic, a cozy, growth-minded, sparkly corner of the world. Join me, Shaina Wexler, as we revel in and rediscover the abundant magic that fills our daily lives. So brew up some tea in your favorite mug, settle into your comfiest chair, and breathe deep as we create Daily Magic. Hello, my beautiful friend. I am so happy that you are here today. What tea have you brewed up for yourself for today's Daily Magic tea party together? Today, I chose to drink a green tea in order to lead us into this story about the magic of making magic. When I was a little kid, as with most little kids, I loved holidays. But there was one holiday in particular that felt the most magical to me. And it probably isn't any of the ones that you think. Growing up, my curiosity and awe was most piqued by St. Patrick's Day. Or as we called it in my household, Leprechaun's Day. My fascination with this holiday began very early. When I was about 3, my big brother Gabe and I started seeing evidence of leprechaun activity. Tiny white powder footprints could be seen coming from the air vents, leading us away and then vanishing into a wall, as if into thin air. Green glitter found its way around the home as well. I remember using a magnifying glass to try to trace the path of the leprechaun's movements. It was thrilling and super magical. A few years later, Gabe and I learned more about the nature of leprechauns, and that if captured, a leprechaun would grant wishes. So now, a magical once per year happening suddenly became a year-round obsession for us. We had also learned, of course, about their pot of gold, but that seemed quite unimportant to us. And to Gabe, people's obsession about getting a leprechaun's gold seemed quite amateurish and quite short-sighted, really. You see, Gabe knew exactly what we would wish for when we inevitably captured a leprechaun. We would wish for mutant powers. X-Men heavily influenced everything about my childhood, by the way. So we spent countless hours concocting, creating, testing, and executing various traps, including dressing my now toddler younger brother Samuel up as a leprechaun, and then tying him up to play the role of a kidnapped leprechaun that needed to be saved by other leprechauns. So when the leprechauns would mobilize to go and untie and save him, Gabe and I would swoop in from our incredibly clever hiding spots and capture them with our Paper King Supers bags. See, it's foolproof, right? Like, what could possibly go wrong? However, when it became clear that Samuel was in no mood to execute our brilliant script of "Help, help, I'm stuck. Help, help, I'm stuck." We quickly pivoted the plan, dressed me in our handmade leprechaun costume, did a quick rewrite of the scripting, and then sprang back into action, with my arms now tied up in purple plastic lanyard-making cord, knowing that our mutant powers hinged on my performance. I played the role of a lifetime, shouting, "Help, help, I'm stuck! Help, help, I'm stuck! I may be a jumbo leprechaun, but I still need help! Help, help, I'm stuck!" And yes, yes, there is home video footage of these attempts. But though we saw the evidence through our house that leprechauns had been there once again, somehow they managed to evade us. So, as we faced yet another year of life without mutant powers, we realized that perhaps we needed to modify our approach. Next year, we decided, instead of trying to trap a leprechaun to receive our wishes, we would try to genuinely befriend them. We would then spend months creating a miniature village for them in our basement, where they could reside with ease and safety during Leprechaun's Day. We created family-style homes, hotels, a town square, a playground, dining areas, and even devised a tram ride experience for them throughout the Leprechaun Village, in which Gabe would push his Ghostbusters vehicle around the basement with his eyes closed so as not to invade their space or make them feel unsafe in their experience. And now, knowing that they would need leprechaun-appropriate food and drink, I spent days folding hundreds of miniature origami cups for them to use. Do you understand how cramped my fingers were and how miniature these origami cups were? This was commitment. We were committed to this plan. The concept this time was that the leprechauns would be so grateful for the safe haven, the food, the lodging, and events. Because yes, of course we planned events through the whole day, including a leprechaun dance in the town square, which once again, we would participate in with our eyes closed. They would be so grateful for all of this that they would, of their own volition, offer to grant us our wishes. And we would say, "What? Really? For us?" That's so kind. What an incredible idea on your part, leprechauns. So, did a leprechaun ever reward us for our efforts? Well, I invite you to learn about the vast and various gifts and talents that my siblings possess. Then I'll leave it to you to decide. By the way, I will offer to do a virtual tea party with anyone who counts how many times I just said leprechaun. My sibs and I had experienced years of magic, awe, wonder, and togetherness. And behind it all was a little green glitter, some baby powder, a bit of planning, and a mom who wanted to create magical moments for her children. As I grew up, and specifically once my little sister arrived, I began really enjoying being part of the magic making. I have many a story about the ways that I created magic for my sibs as we were growing up, and maybe in the future I will share more of those with you if you would like. But for the moment, let's just suffice it to say that I was fully indistinguishable from Mary Poppins for a number of years. If you know me even a little bit, you know that sharing magic and helping others connect to their inner magic is a huge passion of mine. That is why I am so eager to share. I have created a one-on-one 12-week coaching course called Reignite Inspiration. And this coaching with me is for anyone who's feeling blocked or burned out. So whether you are blocked in your creative work or you're just feeling unable to connect to the joy of life around you, that inspirational just joy of life, I've designed this holistic spirit, mind, body, and emotions-based coaching that is not only going to dissolve your inspirational blocks, but will also create and teach you your personalized roadmap to the source of your inspirational flow that you're going to be able to tune into time and time again. And each of the 12 weeks of coaching is customized specifically for you based on the nature of your blocks, where you're holding them, your lifestyle, your goals, your dreams. And I'm so passionate about this because I feel that inspiration is really a matter of quality of life. I really see inspiration as being something that is so important to quality of living, how we are living. It really underscores everything in our experience. the vision that we have to create, the way that we see the world around us, the motivation we feel towards our relationships, it really shows up in everything that we do. So if we're feeling blocked, it can really impact us negatively in so many areas of our life. If this is resonating with you or piquing your interest, I would love to book a cozy little no pressure video call with you to just connect, hear about you, answer any questions, and see if you would be a good fit for this one-on-one coaching with me. So if you're feeling excited about this, just send me a little email at shainawexler@gmail.com or write the word excited in the comments below, either on Spotify or on YouTube. Just write the word excited, and I will send you a link to set up our little chat together. I am so eager to connect with you and empower you to reignite your inspiration. For many of you out there, you have at least one story that comes to your mind of a time that a parent or an adult in your life devised a magical moment for you to experience as a child. But for the majority of you, I'll bet your childhood was the last time you can really remember someone setting up a magical experience for you. We so readily and naturally make magic for children because they already embody wide-eyed wonder and an aptitude for awe. But beyond the occasional surprise party or proposal, we rarely even think about how to help inspire awe, wonder, curiosity, and belief in our peers, our partners, our friends, and our parents. And I've been thinking a lot about this because I feel that it's actually we adults who actually need these magical moments the most. And as I was pondering this idea on an evening walk with my pup, I was shown a really beautiful example of this very concept. As we were walking along a beautiful path, trees and nature on one side, houses on the other, we came upon a bend in the path where someone from the home nearby had placed right on the path a tree. I saw that the tree had a sign on it that said, "Wishing Tree," and had index cards and pens nearby. The branches were strewn with cards that read of wishes, hopes, and prayers of grownups. And just seeing it brought me so much joy and awe and appreciation. And as we continued along the path, I found myself pondering what wish I would place on the tree next time I came this way. I spent the walk revisiting dreams of the past and hopes of the future and reconnecting with desires within myself. And somehow the idea of putting my hopes and dreams up on that tree felt absolutely magical. When my pup and I arrived home, I opened my document with my list of topics that I wanted to talk about on this podcast and added the magic of making magic to it. Only a day or so later, my dear friend Kristen, who I have known since first grade, sent me a story that she had seen that she knew would be right up my alley. And when I read it, I just knew I needed to share it with you too. This story was posted by James Artemis Owen, and from what I can tell, he is the writer of the story as well. But if you find out that there's actually someone else attributed to writing the story itself, please let me know so that I can create an addendum, okay? So here it is. He says, "A confession. Once, while in Boston, I convinced some friends that so much tea had been dumped into the harbor during the infamous tea party that in certain places, at certain times of the year, you could scoop up water in a cup and it would taste like tea. They thought it was a joke until I mentioned it to the waitress at the restaurant, and she not only confirmed it, but offered a cup so that we could go try it. At the harbor, I knelt on a pier, scooped up some water, and handed it to my friend. The look on his face as he tasted the chamomile tea was priceless. The others passed it around and reacted with similar amazement. Then one joked that he preferred Earl Grey. I said that was at a different pier. At the other pier, I was about to scoop up some water in the cup when a grouchy local stopped me and asked what we were doing. I told him, and he scowled and disappeared inside his boat. He reemerged a moment later with a little cup of creamer. "The Earl Grey hasn't aged well," he explained, "so you really have to have creamer to get it down." I scooped up some water in the cup, and we added the creamer to a really decent tasting Earl Grey tea. We thanked the guy and then went back to our hotel, where, for the rest of the weekend, I listened to my friends tell everyone there about how amazing it was to drink 200-plus-year-old tea right out of the harbor. It was in every way real magic. All it cost me was 2 syringes full of tea, 1 chamomile, 1 Earl Grey, a travel sewing kit to stitch the syringes inside the right sleeve of my jacket, a big tip to a waitress the night before, and paying for a local fisherman's coffee and pie, also the night before. Sometimes all it takes to make magic is a little more preparation than most people would expect, and a good story to wrap it in. Isn't that great? I just love it. This story is so on brand for me in so many ways. Creating magic and tea is perfect. And even if you're someone who is having trouble getting on board with the idea of creating magic moments for others, I'm sure we can all appreciate the very real and scientifically proven magic of mushrooms. Not the magic of magic mushrooms, because that is something even different than this. But have you all seen the documentary Fantastic Fungi? It's incredible, right? It's amazing. There are so many types of mushrooms that do so much magic for our systems. For example, lion's mane and cordyceps protect our heart and liver, balance our mood and energy levels, and even slow biological signs of aging. So the fact that Kanoko Functionals uses those very mushrooms to create absolutely delicious and beneficial vegan chocolates and caramels is so cool. Each caramel has 4 full grams of lion's mane in it. So click the link below to try a pop of this delicious magic for yourself. And now I can hear some naysayers wanting to pipe up and express that creating magic is so much easier with kids because of their nature to readily believe, but that it isn't the same for adults who, quote, know how the world works, and therefore isn't worth the effort. However, if that was true, magicians would not be a thing. Even people who don't believe in miracles or spirit-based magic take joy from experiencing a well-executed magic show. Just because we know that someone isn't really disappearing or being cut in half doesn't really make it less fun or less awe-inspiring to watch. We as adults love to be amazed. We love having moments that evoke childlike wonder and curiosity within us. And you may have noticed that the magic of making magic is another topic that falls under the larger umbrella of the Magic of Giving, episode 7, and has the same kind of magic in which it is just as much fun and has just as much enjoyment for the person making the magic as for the person for whom we are making the magic. It is a win-win magic when we make magic for someone else. And I will tell you that I have never once, not one time, have I gotten tired of showing every human being that I have ever met in my whole life the unbelievably cool, very real magic of butterfly PT. I have never once gotten tired of showing that to anyone who will watch me show them that. And if you happen to be the one human being in the entire cosmos who I have not shown this absolutely terrific wizardry to right now, like right now in the comments, right? Show me the magic. Comment, show me the magic. And I will joyfully make it happen because I love the magic of making magic. I love it. My dear, beautiful friend, I invite you to experience the magic of making magic by concocting something special for someone else this week. And you know I must hear about what you come up with. I need to know. I must know. You must share this with me. Have a gorgeous week and be blessed and be light and make that magic.